Hello, Regis Kilbin is the name, and Paladins is the game. And today I'm going to talk about a build for the character Grock. This is a build I'm calling the Thunderous Grock build, and it's really all about using your chain lightning ability and your standard lightning weapon attacks to do tons of damage. This is not a support build or defensive build. This is really about playing Grock aggressively and killing enemies before they even realize what is happening, thanks to chain lightning and some secondary effects that this build has. So starting off, I'm going to be focusing on the cards on the left side of this nice little handy user interface that Paladins has added. And beginning with our specialty card, Momentum. This is an upgrade to Chain Lightning. Your weapon shots instantly lower Chain Lightning's cooldown by 0.3 seconds. So we're all about Chain Lightning, and this makes Chain Lightning happen more often. So all the other buffs we have to Chain Lightning in this build get even better thanks to this card. This is also fantastic when you're able to hit a stationary target like the Gate or the Siege Engine, because you can almost chain your Chain Lightning, using it multiple times in a row and just piling out tons of damage. Like, the opponents won't even know what's happening. You'll just be constantly hitting 3 to 4 people, and your damage will be 150,000 before the match is over. So this is a great guaranteed way at the very beginning of the match to ensure that we'll be able to use Chain Lightning as often as possible. Now, when it comes to contesting the point, if your aim is not particularly good, or they have a super mobile team composition that's really hard to hit or nail down, then you'll get a little bit less value out of this, and you might want to consider switching to one of these other options. But otherwise, Momentum is really pretty core to this build's success. At the common tier, we're going to go with Overcharge. This is an increase to your weapon. It increases the width of Lightning Beam by 60%. So that's not really all that great. It's all it does is make it a little bit easier for you to hit your Lightning Beam standard attacks, which is nice, granted. But really, this card is here at this slot because it has a 15% attack modifier. So all your damage will go up by 15% with this card. Whereas with the other cards, you'll see that the one we didn't choose is 8%, Astral Traveler is 8%, and Gale is 5%. So this is the only card in this tier, and I have every card, by the way. This is the only card in this tier that allows you to significantly increase the amount of damage you're doing, which is nice. Plus, the effect does make it a little bit easier to aim, which is really important with Momentum. You have to hit weapon attacks to get the buffs here, the increase in this card, so Overcharge does make that a little bit more consistent for you. The effects on these aren't actually too bad. They're both pretty strong. I'm not in love with Outreach, but both Gale and Astral Traveler have really good effects. But I still think, since this is a damage build, that I get more value out of Overcharge in general. At the rare tier, we're going to go with Blackout. This is another weapon modifier. This time it's a 10% damage increase, but the effect here is really powerful. Your weapon attacks have a 5% chance to silence the target's abilities, deactivating them for 3 seconds. So with the way Grock attacks, it's really rapid, right? It's one constant beam, and it ticks off very quickly. And each tick gives this a chance to proc. So if you're attacking someone for a second or two, there's a very high likelihood that Blackout will go off, making this an extremely strong card. Silencing someone's abilities is fantastic, particularly if you do it in the beginning of a fight or after 10 to 15 seconds within a fight, because you can silence their abilities from the initial push, and then you can also silence them once their cooldowns are up. It's not as good once they've activated their cooldowns, because they can't use their abilities anyway for a while. But in scenarios right at the beginning, if you get to the point early and you're able to pop this on a few people, you can really change the way the point is contested and get a couple early kills, because they don't have an escape. Their Sky, for instance, can't go invisible, or their Buck can't jump away. So there's some stuff you can do with this. You also just deny a lot of extra damage and utility when you silence people's abilities. So I actually think Blackout is one of the strongest cards in this entire build, despite coming at level 3. And then in our epic quality, we're going to talk about the card that gives this deck its name, Thunderous Grace. This is another weapon modifier. It's got a nice plus 15% attack. You'll notice all of these cards have very strong percentage attacks. We go from 20 to 15 to 10 to 15, whereas most Grock cards are in the 8 to 10 range, or even a 5 here, so that's very strong. But this makes it even better because you deal an additional half a percentage point of your target's maximum health per hit. Now, 0.5% does not sound like much, but as I mentioned before, Grock's attacks are so rapid and there's so many ticks that this does actually start to add up very quickly. If you keep your chain lightning on someone for just a second, you're talking about a few percentage points of damage extra, which is very nice when you also add on that 15% damage bonus. So there are actually some strong cards in this tier as well. These are not so good because they're more defensive in nature, but Overload can be very powerful if you have a team composition that's all about doing lots of damage and standing on the point or staying within your totem. So if you have like a Buck and a Fernando, or people that are very likely to be together, then this can be good. It also buffs you as well, so 30% attack speed is very nice, and in fact can be more damage than Thunderous Grace. It has a slightly lower damage modifier and it relies a lot more organization, so if you're not playing on an organized team, if you're in solo queue or something, Overload's probably not going to work. Hamstring can also be really good if it's a very mobile team, because it can make your attacks a little easier to hit, because they're moving slower and your aim gets better. But if your aim is consistently good, Thunderous Grace will give you the maximum possible output in this build. And then finally, in our legendary tier, we're going to pick Conductor, yet another weapon modifier. The 20% attack is nice, but also attacks have a 3% chance to turn a target into a conductor for 4 seconds. That's not a conductor in an orchestra. This conductor is a lightning rod, basically, that deals 60 damage every half a second to all nearby targets. And that's for 4 seconds, right? So you're talking about 8 individual ticks of 60 damage, which is a lot. That's almost 500 extra damage you're doing. And it happens 3% of the time, which, if you remember, this is like 5% of the time. So it's not quite as strong as that, but it still adds up very quickly and it happens often. And the conductor range is really quite large, so you're very likely for this to hit multiple people. And it just, things can go crazy when you're chain lightning all the time and you're conductoring all the time and you're blacking out all the time. You're going to leave the enemy team basically in chaos. They're going to be taking damage from every which way, and half the time not even realize it's coming from you or how threatening that you are, because most people still underestimate Grock. So Conductor is really great at sneaking in extra damage. That said, Cluster is also pretty viable in this slot. If you have allies that don't stand together, they have like 4 really long range attackers and a Fernando, for instance, and they're all spread out across the map. Conductor won't add up for that much damage, right, on the capture point. So you may want to pass it up for Cluster in that case, just because this is a little bit more reliable. Manifest is also very strong. If you have an organized team that's piling on a single person, like that Fernando on the point, for instance, then Manifest can be pretty fantastic at wiping away a tank really, really quickly. There are other pretty strong cards here. In fact, all of them are decent, but most of them are defensive in nature. So they're a little less reliable for like solo queue, single target damage. I shouldn't say single target, but solo queue personal damage that you can output. And if you want to be the biggest influence on a game, these are the cards that allow you to do that, while the rest of this stuff relies on your team a little bit more. So when you're putting all the responsibility and the weight to succeed on your own shoulders, then this Thunderous Grock build will lead to a lot of success. So I actually want to try to play this build in a game. It's going to be a little bit challenging. Is this... just because we don't know for sure that we're going to be able to get Grock. But hopefully that works. If we don't, I'll just edit the video right out. You guys won't even know the difference. So Grock is not one of the most picked characters in the game. I think that's a shame. He's very powerful, and I find a lot of success with him. he has a bigger influence than people realize. I think because a lot of his damage is secondary, and the heal isn't very well noticed on the healing totem. That hopefully we get a tank. I hate not being able to choose my... No, we didn't. It's okay. We'll still be fine. But anyway, Grock has a much bigger influence than people realize. Sometimes it's passive in nature or not easily noticed. Because he may not always get the killing blow, right? Because he's not doing huge burst damage. But he might do the other 97% of the damage on 3 people. So it does tend to add up. Okay, they do have a tank. So we might be in a little bit of trouble with Buck. Ruckus Bart can hold down the point though, so especially with a Grock. So we might be okay. So remember, take momentum at level 1. My chain lightning is graphically glitched down there. That's unfortunate. That's a very large chain lightning graphic. I think they knew what the point of this build was and went ahead and just buffed my icon as well. Hopefully the damage is increased in turn.
Capture point has spawned.
So if we can actually get to the side, sometimes it's a lot easier to... Oh my goodness, there's a pit behind me. Did not know that. It's a lot easier sometimes to hit your chain lightning approaching from the side, just because of the angle of movement. So we want overcharge. So when you're shooting people straight on, right, they move from left to right typically to avoid other people who are attacking in front, and that can make it a lot harder to hit your chain lightning. But if you get out to the side, if they move side to side when you're attacking from the side, then it doesn't do anything. You're just pointing in a straight line anyway, so yeah, that's unfortunate.
Enemy killing spree.
Gonna have to leave them there. So sometimes it's very easy to use your chain lightning a little too early here, as you get excited. But you kind of want to try to wait until an opponent is nearby. See, we're doing a lot of damage back there to that turret and that shield. See how quickly our cooldown is up again.
Point spawning in 10 seconds.
I know that I'm going to be far away from the point, but I think I have to help my team engage back here.
Capture point has spawned.
And remember that your chain lightning doesn't help at all when you're attacking a single target. As a new Grock player, I often just spammed abilities, even though it didn't really affect anything. Grock is a great counter to Eevee, by the way. She is the newest hero still, and Grock can do crazy stuff to Eevee. Yeah, and you'll note the silence that we have. It does pop up on the enemy's head when it triggers, so that gives you an indication of how often it's happening, but also can give you more information to make decisions on. If they're silenced, then for instance, you know they don't have an escape for a few seconds. There are a couple different things that can help you do. Oh boy. Pip found us. So be sure to pay attention to that silence. It really can influence your decision making quite a bit.
Attack the objective. Enemy siege engine has arrived.
We're unable to hold the point so far. Oh, the buck wall is really problematic here. I was relying on my escape, but I did not account for the buck wall. A silence there would have been pretty nice. Thankfully, that was a kind of freebie to give away. We weren't going to hold that gate anyway, so.
Point spawning in 10 seconds. Point spawning in 5 seconds. Capture point has spawned.
Just gonna go to the point now to give us a little head start. And do note against Barik, it's very easy to target his turret for chain lightning, so you don't have to hit a moving target. Can make a huge difference. I think the silence there might have got us that kill. Where is my team at? Goodness, guys. Held the point for 92 by myself. They have to be able to finish here. Oh my, we have 3 up, they have 4 up. This is coming back. Nice, okay, their pip got greedy and forgot about the point. I healed him there. I don't care about you, Ruckus. He's doing a great job of distracting us. Okay, we take, sticking with a standard build here. Nothing has happened in the game that makes me want to change. I probably, ideally, could have went more defensively, just because we don't have a tank. But, listen to all that damage. You saw a few silences popping up as well. That's really the strength of this build. Is when you can attack a gate like that and just wreak havoc. Anything stationary that allows you to guarantee hits just adds up so much damage. My team, once again, I don't know why they keep goofing around over there. It's fine to try to get kills, and that's not a problem. I'm not saying that. Just it's very far away from the point so far. Thought that was an enemy. Nice shield. I'm actually gonna go get this one with Bar. We had a pretty big lead there, as far as the enemy team being alive or dead was concerned. So felt safe just chase the kill instead of hold the point for a second. Some stuff seems to be happening back here. Here I don't even have to hit the buck, I just have to hit the ruckus, because I can rely on chain lightning to secure the kill. I think the buck was almost out of range. That's one thing you can always do with chain lightning. If they're close enough together but the primary target's a little bit too far away, just chain off the first. That's the whole point of the build and the talent. Here, look at that damage. All the silences too. It's a shame we didn't have a better push there to get the gate, but
Point spawning in 10 seconds.
I'd like to see it over here again. I think we're gonna have trouble with the dock.
Capture point has spawned.
Yeah, it's okay. Eevee's so great because it's hard to miss Chain Lightning when she's around. You just kind of have to fire anywhere close by and you're going to make an impact. If that Ruckus had stayed in view just a little longer, he might have enabled me to get a kill. Because I could have just chained off of him, but he ran around a little too much. I don't know what was hitting me, but I think I was safe to use my Ghost Walk for now. I won't need it again for a few seconds. Chain just a hair early there. Probably gonna get dismounted here, yeah. I might just have to duel. Or take one for my team. They gave me a little bit of an out. Uh-oh, teammate. I'm just gonna run and let Ruckus die, unfortunately. Just to get to the point sooner and try to heal on the way. Yeah, that was our Ruckus being killed by their Ruckus, okay. That's a great development. Ooh, still too low. Ah. She's not dumb. So you might never go 12-0 with this Grock build as far as killing blows to deaths is concerned, because you're just not that likely to secure the kills. But you'll notice our points are substantial. In this game, that's because we were on the point quite a bit, but also just because we do so much small, chippy damage over time that it tends to add up. So I'm saving my Chain Lightning until this thing gets some enemies nearby. Just to hit multiple people. You'll see it's hitting 3 or 4 people at the moment. We just killed a bark off of it, it looks like. I don't know if we can save here, but we're gonna try. I think our team might have hit Buck a little too hard. I don't know. I couldn't see how low he was because of my angle, but.
Point spawning in 10 seconds. Point spawning in 5 seconds.
Oh, it was just here, wasn't it? We don't want to go here.
Capture point has spawned.
Oh. If you can get a height advantage on Eevee, it's very good because she really thrives on attacking the ground. So when you're able to get a buffer, it's very hard for her to actually hit you. Who's getting kills and where? Ah! Thought we had that. Thought I had that. Rocket boots, that's intriguing. I don't feel like that's his best. But maybe he knows something I don't know.
arrived.
Uh-oh, that's not what I planned. Did not think anybody'd be in range for a minute. Gonna run through here for a heal on way to the next defense point. Let's use this for speed. See if we can kill Buck like this. Yep. And the silence, we're gonna maybe get Ruckus too. Yep. I think we should hold here. It's unlikely we'll be able to hold again though. So we need to win the next 2 points. We might be able to hold again. It's pretty high.
Point spawning in 10 seconds. Point spawning in 5 seconds.
I think we were most successful on the left point, but I don't know that it matters too much. This is not a good choke point to fight in. Ooh, I got no health. Yep, there it goes. Oh, we need to get that Buck. Oh, that was a good wall. Nice try, Ruckus. Fly it over. I respect the attempt. Yeah, I think we lose here.
Enemy double kill. An enemy siege
What just
engine
happened
has
there?
arrived.
We need to get out on this one early and secure some kills to hold. Don't know that we can. I need to stay alive. Well, we've gotten 2 kills. Our team is still not there yet, though. That's a little sad. Yeah, you can attack players, but you still have to get to the vault to defend. Those players aren't attacking the vault out there. Oh, that's gonna be close. No, I think they got it. Even without anyone there. Oh my gosh, we held. Wow. Wow, that was fantastic.
Point spawning in 10 seconds.
Now we just gotta finish.
5 seconds. Capture point has spawned.
Nice, we're here. Perfect timing. Oh, he's so low, but we're gonna get the point, I think, so it's okay.
Engine has arrived.
We really need to push for the win here. I don't know if we can hold another point. Oh, I thought that was an enemy. My bad. Turret right there. It's very annoying. did not want to run through that, because sometimes I don't know what he has for talents, and it can be a problem. Man, that was a good ooze. Here's where I'm very good. If I stay alive for any time at all. Oh, nice. Easy win. Easy win. 18 minutes. Hard fought. Alright, so that was the Thunderous Grock build in action. I'd like to look at our stats so you can just kind of see how it works and what happens. So yeah, you'll notice we did 156,000 damage, and which Pip beat us, but Pip is a DPS hero, so we still held pretty close and compared to the rest of our team. Led in points and damage, and held up on killing blows actually too. We died a little much, I think, in general. Our Bark was a solid player. Good game all around. You'll notice the enemy team, we out DPS'd all of them by a mile, even their EV by 30,000 or something. So almost 40,000 damage. So that is the Thunderous Grock build in action. Again, that is Momentum, Overcharge, Blackout, Thunderous Grace, and Conductor. I hope you got to see how much fun it is, how crazy it is when all the numbers pop up and all the silences and all that fun stuff, and that's really what makes this build so powerful and influential in games. So thanks so much for watching. Try the Grock build out there in Paladins. Have fun, and until next time, game on.